Greetings and welcome to Mobile Routing with TrashFlow. Thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Sarah Vanukar. I've been a member of the sales consultant team here at TrashFlow for the last 8 years and counting. So happy to take you through some features and functions that will allow you to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the office with what's happening in the field and take a lot of the driver said, customer said out of the equation entirely so you're able to see exactly what the driver does when they're at a stop. So let's take a look here. This is the trash flow program itself. Let's do a little orientation here. Everything that's on the left-hand side, these are going to be your action categories. So anything that's going to require 2 or more next steps, you're going to start over here. And so you'll see here in the routing tab itself, this is where the mobile routing magic starts and happens. So you can generate as many different routes as you collect. So if you have regular collection every day, every week of the month, and then the second and fourth, you have regular plus recycling, and once a month have bulk item collection, for example, all of those are kept right in the route tab itself. So all you have to do is do a set it and forget it, and then upload the route to your tablets or routes to your tablets for the drivers, and you're good to go. We'll take a look at one of those right now. If you also know the actual title, it's easier to search through there. So I'll call up the route itself. And this is a list in the order that generally they're collected from. You can collect all of the stops out of sequence if there is, if there's construction being done and a long-term detour that's happening, or in general, if just during the day you have to go to the landfill or transfer station or recycling center a bit sooner than on other days. We allow for fluid flexibility and route collection as it happens in real time. So when we take a look at these, we're going to go down into our route information and verify the days of the week that this is going to pop up. Now, this is another of our set it and forget it's. By checking off all of these here, all I have to do is upload routes and that it's a TeleRoute route here. Then all I have to do for all of the routes after that is just go to TeleRoute, upload routes, and it will know which are supposed to pop up on which days. And that includes any that are bi-weekly or any that are once a month as well. So you have a number of different features and functions here, depending on how much or how little information you do want the driver to have access to. So if you don't want them to have phone numbers or balances, we'll go ahead and take those off and upload that route as well. Once that, and this will upload all of the routes for today, which is Wednesday, the day that I'm recording this, and it'll put them right in queue for the driver to check in on the tablet itself. Perfect. Now, when the driver logs into the tablet, once that's been done on the admin side, so you can upload all your routes for the whole week and then just make adjustments and upload again for any and all new, like refreshing. And that'll keep everything ready and current and good to go for the drivers without you having to do it at 3 o'clock in the morning the day of. So the driver's going to select which truck. Now this also helps us select, the difference between side loader versus containers that are front or rear load as well. So we'll do a side loader for this collection. Select the driver that we're doing for today, and then which route is up for them to run. So we're going to go ahead and pick Sue's daily route, and I just hit route start. And then generate the route itself. And now here we are. So it also incorporates billing and accounts receivable functions. If somebody is overdue $1 or $2, then that would show up. Or if they are not available at all to collect because we've suspended them, those are options as well. You can have a lot of, again, set it and forget it. We have a lot of different notes that we can make sure to flag for the driver themselves. So anything and everything you have to keep track of, whether it's a driving instruction, and those are very helpful when you go out of data range or out of Wi-Fi range. So still we have those driving instructions that we know the driver's going to benefit from. And we have anything else we want them to be aware of at the actual stop itself. So setting everybody up for success that way. The driver view itself can either be satellite or regular street. And when we roll up to the stop itself, you'll actually see the truck as it gets closer and closer to the stop. And then if everything is good to go, all you have to do is tap picked up, or we have a voice activated as well, hands-free TeleRoute. You can just say Gizmo picked up and you're good to go. If the bin isn't out or anything other than a regular stop occurs, we have a number of options anticipating that workflow for you as we do. So you can always take a picture when you're on site. If the trash isn't out, that's a simple gizmo, trash not out, or tap of the screen. We do take a picture. This is a simulation, so it's not connected to an actual tablet. I'll say no in this instance, but you'll see it'll prompt your drivers to take a picture at that stop. Now, anything we do here in either of these categories and up here as well, anything entered on the tablet automatically gets saved directly to your customer's account and to a separate flagged section on the home screen itself. So if you have customers that call, you can then go into the customer account itself and look them up, or we actually have a running tally of any and all incoming information that is outside of, yes, it was a regular pickup. So a number of different ways for you to know, even at a glance, while you have 15 other things going on at any given moment, that there are other things that might need a charge or an additional look at or additional follow-up. So we keep that, let TrashFlow remember that for you. A couple of the other options as well, you can skip a stop itself. You can tell TeleRoute that you want to move stop number 8 after and put it after stop number 5 itself as the driver. So you can streamline the route itself the way that it should be picked up, even if there's a little tweaking that needs to be done. We make that really easy and dynamic to be able to do. If the bin is blocked and ordinarily the polycarts are out or the bin itself is out, but you're not able to collect it because there's either another truck across the way or something preventing the driver from accessing the bin, you can indicate that as well and take a picture. Other than those regularly scheduled aspects of the program, extras. So you can generate a list of extras of anything that the driver is going to need to indicate without them having to type a full note, because that takes a lot of attention and time. And we want to facilitate, this is just an easy alphabetical list of anything that we need to pick up itself. So I can scroll right down. Polycart needs replacing, and there were tires, picked up all of those. This is also part of the voice activated, so you can say Gizmo extras and then list which of the items are out in the field. And you pick them all up. So now we have a flag and a picture of everything that actually happened on the stop in less than 15 seconds. As you're going along as well, you can message the office. There's a lot that happens in a truck, and people don't always drive very safe around those large vehicles for whatever reason. So we can make sure that the drivers stay focused on the road, the job at hand itself, and they're not on the phone with you. So they can send an office message to you straight from the tablet. Water main. That'll go directly to the office. And you see we have a list of things that have come in from the office itself and gone back. So we keep a history of communications as well if you ever need to refer back to those. Other options that we can track while you're in the tablet, the landfills, transfer stations, recycling stations, we can load all of those right into your system so that you can specify where you went and when you got there, what the tip weight was, what your ticket number was, what the cost was, and any notes, as well as when you left. All of those options are the same as well when you're taking a look at fuel stops. So we can indicate where you're going, when you got there, either how many miles are on the truck at the time, how many hours they've been in there. This feeds into the route profitability calculations that we do. So we'll say 6 hours on the truck, the number of gallons pumped, the unit price where we are right now is $4.16. Total cost that calculates that for you, and when they left. And then as you go along itself, so let's say we pick this up out of sequence and collected that stop and then had to go to the landfill itself, indicated those landfill stops and information. And now from where we are, we want to get back to the next scheduled stop, which is actually back up here. What we're going to do is actually use our turn-by-turn direction options. So what that looks like, we'll call that right up. Is right here. So as you see, it'll give the the turn-by-turn instructions by voice to the drivers to get them from where their current location is back to the next scheduled stop on the list itself. So no matter what, we allow the driver to be able to track everything that they're doing without having a clipboard with a bunch of separate pieces of paper that they then have to be hounded to return to the office. And instead, while everyone's in the office working, we can actually see messages and exceptions, exactly what's going on within minutes from when the driver was out in the field. So if I wanted to look at messages first, I'll pull that up. And we see that Dave is running a little bit behind and why. So now that we've got somebody logged in, we can either send a message back to Dave, and it preloads the route and the truck that they're in, and send that out as well. If you do have inclement weather or something that you want to all of the drivers to be aware of when they're on the route, you can send a singular message out to everybody, like a dispatch flag if you need to. But in general, we want you to be able to stay concentrated on what you need to do without tying up phone lines for other customers calling in to add on for services. But you want to be able to let your drivers know you've got them, you support them, you know what's going on, and you're here to help. In terms of if you're a list person, so if things look better in a list for you, if a driver or if a customer calls in and says, how close is that driver to picking me up? I can see about where they were last and what time they were running. So on the route itself, I can pull this up next to the actual Sue's daily route and see that list. Just move this over, grab that list again. Whoop. And then compare it to the actual list here. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Here we go. So now we have the route itself and the list next to it. I see that Kyle Valenti was the last stop that we picked up. Those are next to each other, 11:22. That's what I was trying to do. And Kyle Valenti is right here. Let's see. There we go. So we're at stop number 6. It's going to be at 11:12 a.m. It's going to be a little bit before we get to Tony Stark, who's calling in to see when we're going to be there. So you can guesstimate around how long it's going to be. I prefer a visual approach myself, so I'm going to take this route and I'm going to look at it on a map. And as you see, everything is going to start out as that default for purple, but once stops are collected and once some action and activity is taken, you'll see that some of those stops change to blue. So as a visual, I can see where in collection they are versus where the person is that's calling, and I can give them an idea of, well, it's probably going to be about another 40 minutes. Not a problem. We'll pick you right up. You can look at all of your routes as well on a map. All at the same time. So when you have new customers that are calling in, or you have other folks that are saying, much the same thing, when are your guys going to get here? You can take a look at view that route on a map, all of the routes as they're running and where those collection streams are. And we've pulled everybody up, but I just want to focus. I've got a call for somebody that's on the commercial route. I'm just going to hide those route pins for a second, take a look at where we are in the commercial route, and then come back in and put those back up. So we have a lot of dynamic options that let you be able to provide good customer service for people that are looking to see where the driver is in the route. You have good support for your driver that's in the truck themselves, with knowing the customer said, driver said is entirely out of the equation, because you can see right from where you are exactly what's going on and where things are. Another few options that I really like are the exception processing itself. So as we go along and we're collecting, the driver saying the other extras, that broken furniture, some tires itself, and a picture that we took on site. Now this is my route sheet that I used to have to chase down from my drivers, and with great coffee stains and boot prints on them alike. But so these now are right at your fingertips within minutes after they actually happened on site. So good news for billing. If I take a look at these, I'm going to double click to open the customer account itself and pull that customer down to here. And what I'm going to do is look in their history. So it's a history of everything that's occurred in the account itself, specific to here are financial transactions, here's internal activity for what all of the administrative functions have been and the work that's been done in TrashFlow itself. And then there's TeleRoute. So this gives us a running tally and a complete and full history from the time that the customer was entered into TrashFlow until they end service with you. We'll always have an idea of what happened on what date and which extra charges we're going to add to their regularly set rates. Here would be an image. It's got, when those two talk to each other, you'll see a little gray box. Just double click on the box and you can open it right up and see exactly what the driver saw at 11:08 on 9/29 when they were on that stop. So since we've got some extra, what's that, furniture itself, so I would then double click here, open it up, and it is a footstool. Not quite a couch, not quite a sectional. So since it's just a footstool itself, I'm gonna hop over here and I'll put in, let's see if we already have a code for it. Do we have, show me footstool. We do not have footstool. So I'm gonna do this as a miscellaneous charge. And we'll do $2.98 for that. $3. We'll do $3 for that. Save. And what that does is take that $3 charge and it puts it into their account history. Boop. So now we have $3 for a footstool. When I run the bills for this account, it will automatically assess any set charges that are here, for example. So it'll charge $17 plus $3 for the footstool, and it will put two organized and itemized line items on your statements, postcards, emailed bills, or emailed invoices or statements, and send them right out to them. So as soon as I put it on the account from here and delete it from here, processed, cross it off the list. I don't have, unless this person, Bethpage Estates, they do have a few other items themselves, but I had somebody call. I have to leave it there as it is right now. I'm going to just move it down here, leave this account open. Another person calls and they had some questions about their particular account. So for here again, we want to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. You have 2 or 3 ways to feed a hungry bird, and you're able to see everything that happens in the field and in the office together. So all while allowing the drivers to make it a lot simpler, cut down on the amount of paper that you have to use and print, and make it a lot easier to just upload changes to a tablet rather than having to make sure you print them out, leave them in a secure location, and then make sure the drivers have picked them up early in the morning when they start their routes. So thank you so much. That's sort of the A to Z of mobile routing with TrashFlow itself. Always happy to answer any additional questions or show you anything else live. Please feel free to email me or give me a call. My email is Sarah with an H at trashflow.com. You can give us a call at 800-852-5199 and ask for Sarah. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Thanks for your time today and have a lovely day.